Hey guys, it's Amberly. Every reptile owner knows what a pain in the butt mites are. So today I wanted to show you guys how to completely get rid of them safely and easily. You're watching K&A Snakes. So there are quite a few ways to tell if your snake has mites. One, he'll be a little irritated. Usually he'll be roaming around. He might even be rubbing against something. How grim. Another easy way to tell if they have mites is by looking in their water. Usually there's a whole bunch of little black things in there. Kinda looks like ground pepper, which is what I've used to simulate this. If you think your snake has mites, you can put them on a piece of white paper towel. After a couple minutes, you can lift it up and see if there's any more of that pepper-like stuff on the paper towel. To get rid of mites on your snake, you're gonna have to go through a couple steps, and they're not necessarily fun, but this is the safest way to do it. A lot of people have used Nix or Rid and diluted it. This can cause really bad issues with your snakes. It can cause neurological issues, leave them paralyzed, or even kill them. So I'm going to show you a natural method that will not kill your snakes. So the first thing you want to do is put them in a clear bath, lukewarm, and this way, in case they're thirsty, they can get a drink. You're going to want to let them swim around for maybe about 10 minutes. The purpose of this is to get most of the mites to drown in the water. The only problem is a lot of them will run up to the snake's head because they're not going to put their heads underwater. They'll often crawl around their eyes and their heat pits, and specifically under their chin. They also like to hide around the cloaca area. So these are important areas to watch out for. But as I said, the clear bath will allow your snake to get a fresh drink and hopefully drown as many mites on its own as possible. The next step is not going to be fun, or it might be really fun. What you're going to need to do is buy a thing of mineral oil. I obviously got mine at Rite Aid. It really wasn't that much. I think it was like $6 for this big thing. Anyway, you are going to want to slather the living crap out of your snake everywhere. You want to get their eyes. They do have that protective layer over their eyes. You want to get under their chins and their heat pits, but you want to be very careful of their nostrils. That's the one thing we don't want to clog up. Oh, baby. Then you're going to let them sit in a tub with a lid with holes like this one, or in a bathtub, as long as you can keep an eye on them. Any place you can, but they have to sit in this messy, goopy mineral oil for about 10 minutes. This will smother all of the remaining mites. It gets under their scales, it gets in their heat pits, and around their eyes. The rest of the mites should be gone. After that, you're going to want to try clear bath again to get as much of the oil off as possible. They are still going to be a little oily for the next day or two. It's not going to all come off, unfortunately. But you want to get as much of that off as possible in a clear bath. And then, because the mites may have bitten them or may have left fecal matter or just any sort of gross stuff, they may have open wounds from bites. Which means you are going to want to also give them a betadine solution bath. A betadine solution bath consists of betadine. This isn't exactly cheap. I think this was about 10 or 11 bucks for this bottle, but it was at Rite Aid. You might be able to find it cheaper elsewhere. It is basically iodine, but it's betadine. And you don't want to put your snake in this. You want to make sure you dilute it. So a good way to know when it's properly diluted is when the mixture looks like warm tea. So you're going to want to add a little bit at a time and then kind of stir it up. And right here is about pretty good. That's actually a pretty good mixture. That's about the color you want it. Please take caution because pure betadine stains everything. It'll get on your clothes, it might get in your bathtub if you're using just the tub. This is why we use different tubs instead of our bathtub, since it's porcelain and holds on to that stuff. You're going to want to let them swim around in this for about 5 minutes. They do have to get their heads because they might have been bitten, you know, somewhere along their face. So you may have to help dunk them just, you know, real quick, once or twice. You do not want them to drink this. So you need to keep a close eye on your snake and make sure they are not drinking the betadine solution. I don't know what it would do to them, but it's probably not healthy. You wouldn't want to drink iodine. So I imagine it's the same kind of idea. Oh, babe. Once you do the betadine bath, your normal may end up looking like a yellow belly. And, well, Chester's going into shed, so he's a little pink. He's being a good model. But, they will be a little off color. They will get a little yellowy. This will come off, you know, 1 or 2 days along with the rest of the mineral oil. After the betadine bath, you want to give them a clear bath, just to get any traces of the betadine off, try to make them not look so yellow belly. And then after that, you're going to want to quarantine them. And quarantine basically means just a very basic setup. We actually have another video that is all about quarantine. I'm putting a link in the description below. So that is how you safely get rid of mites on your snake. Now, as we all know, it's not that easy. The mites aren't just on the snake. They're on all of your tubs, all of your tanks, and the little bastards also have this lovely tendency to jump out and go in the carpet, go on the walls, go on the curtains. So, unfortunately, whatever room your snake collection is in, every snake is going to have to be removed and treated as such. And you're going to have to bug bomb. You want to remove all of the tubs and take them outside, but you are going to leave the racks and bug bomb them. Because they could have gotten under the heat tape, they could have gotten, you know, lodged in some nook or cranny somewhere. Tubs are very easy to clean. Tanks are easy to clean. And the way you want to clean those while you're bug bombing whatever room or rooms you have reptiles in. Once you have your tubs and your tanks out, you're going to have to clean them. And this is no easy task either. For tanks and tubs, if you have a lot, you probably just want to take them outside. If you have 1 or 2, you might be able to do it in the bathtub. But what you're going to have to do is try to find some of this. This is just flea and tick shampoo for dogs. You can also get flea collars for cats and cut those up into strips and wrap them like on an aluminum foil thing. It's a fumigation. I don't mind this method, but I would rather feel kind of safe than sorry. There's other videos on YouTube that show you how to do that method. But I am going to talk about this method. If you want to make sure you're going to get rid of them and the little bastards are not coming back, I use this method. So basically I put bleach and this stuff in the tubs or the tanks and fill it up with the hose. I fill it completely full. because a lot of the tanks, they'll get under that lip where the screen tops go, or they can get under the lips here, or in some little nook and cranny I can't get to. So it's better just to fill them all up. Of course, they'll drown, and this will get rid of any eggs, feces kind of stuff. It'll just wash it away and hopefully give it a good kill. And you're going to want to let that sit probably for about 20 minutes. Every tank and every tub. And of course, if you have any under the tank heaters, you want to take those off. You might want to air those out somewhere. I mean, I don't really think you can wash them. So once all of that has sat for about 20 minutes, you want to drain everything and maybe give it a quick scrub with the remaining suds from the dog shampoo, or you can just rinse it. You want to make sure it's rinsed really well, that there's no lingering smell, because snakes do smell a lot better than we do. I would say by the time you get done moving all of your snakes and cleaning all of your tanks and tubs, the bug bomb should be about done, because of course we don't want to keep the snakes out from their heat sources too long. And when the bug bombing is done, you'll have to come in, air out the room, of course, and get some sort of cleaning wipe, Clorox wipe, Windex on a paper towel, something like that, and wipe down all of the racks or the dresser you had your tank on or whatever. Everything needs to be wiped down wherever the snake is going to be. You'll probably also want to vacuum when you're done and take down and wash any curtains. I know this all seems like a lot, and it is, but if you really, really want to get rid of them, well, it worked for us. We got rid of them in one day. As for any items that may have been in your snake's tubs or tanks, including water dishes, hides, plants, that sort of thing, gauges even, you'll want to wash. Gauges and some of the plastic plants you can probably just throw in with the throw in the tanks when they're soaking with all this stuff. You can probably do this for some water dishes too. However, if you have any wood items, wood hides, the half logs, tree branches like that, you're going to want to bake them. And I do believe I have another video on how to do that. It's in a sanitation video that I will also put in the description, just to show you more ways you can keep your snakes' habitats clean, keep your snakes healthy. Just one last little bit of caution. After you give your snakes the mineral oil and betadine baths, their neck shed will probably almost always be kind of crappy. It'll come off in pieces. If it doesn't, awesome. But when we had to do it, we only had 4 at the time, wow. All 4 of them had really bad sheds the next time they went, so always make sure to check out any incoming snakes, any new snakes you may get. Give them a full examination. Definitely check for mites. And hopefully you won't introduce any of the little pesky pests into your collection again. Alright, I really hope this helped you guys figure out how to safely get rid of mites on your snake. Please, please do not use any harsh chemicals, diluted or not. Mineral oil is way cheap. You don't have to dilute it. You just slather your snake in it, let them sit, and then they're fine. And of course, like I said, there are other methods to clean tanks. You can use a fumigation method. And I'm sure there are lots of other sources out there on the internet for ideas to help you get rid of mites. But as I said, the proof is in the pudding. We did all of these steps. It took about 8 hours, and we haven't had mites since. Knock on wood. Please, God, knock on wood.
Now, as a cautionary thing here, this is one, to protect us, and two, to protect everybody out there. If you do not feel comfortable doing these steps, or you're not 100% sure of the proper mix, I can't judge it by eye just based on video, please consult a vet before you do anything. They are the best resource that you have available. Never try and take fixing stuff into your own hands if you have no idea what you're doing. Vets, yes, sometimes, depending on where they are, they can be costly. But what would you rather have? You know, a few bucks out of your pocket, or your little reptile, snake, gecko, whatever it may be? What you gotta think is, what's their life worth to you?
Hey guys, if you liked that video, check out our other videos. Also, don't forget to rate and subscribe and comment and all that down below. And Chester says please.